Wambuzi tarisa mumira, you deserve a photo shoot every hour. It's your hour. Camera, lights, flash.
Click, strike up, pose.
Oh, swag, drippy, click, strike up, pose.
What's good, Hourangers? What's popping? I hope you guys are good. I hope you've enjoyed the episodes that we've released so far. If you haven't seen them, please go and check them out. They're on the YouTube channel. But today we are joined by some special people. Before that, my name is Jordan, if you don't know by now, and we have our other special host with us.
Yes, my name is Vera. So nice to see you all on this beautiful day.
Right, and then we're gonna let our two other guests introduce themselves. So yeah, what's good, guys?
I'm Zanele, also known as Mrs. Mutomba or Moyo Moyandizo.
Yes!
It's like I'm the Mrs.
Hi,
Just right, just putting it out there, disclaimer.
I'm Chef Bobo, or Moyondizo, husband of Zanele.
Hey!
He's like, I'm the husband.
Just in case you didn't catch it the first time.
Okay, so as you can see, we have some amazing, delicious, I'm joking, beverages. And enjoying these beverages because today's episode is, they're alcoholic, by the way, not just any old beverage.
It's not juice.
Right, no, you can drink juice, but we're drinking alcohol because it's December. So yeah, these drinks and this episode is sponsored by Bodega. And basically what Bodega is they are a service provider that provides like alcohol, a mobile bar. They can do your bar service if that's what you're looking for. So that's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
So we found it. So, yeah.
Basically, we wanted to get lit on this episode.
Right. But the funny part is that this episode is actually about like alcohol and its effects on our society at large, as well as just in like a Zimbabwean context. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right into the conversation, and I hope that you guys are drinking something with us.
Yes.
So, my first question for all of us is, what do we understand about alcoholism and like alcohol addiction?
Don't look at me.
What do you understand?
Yeah.
A, people who cannot handle their drinks,
Right.
alcoholics. Us who drink too much, alcohol enthusiasts.
Okay.
But jokes aside, I really think personally, I don't understand the differences, because what people call alcoholism is basically what we've been doing for a while, and I don't think we have a problem.
Okay.
The first step is to admit that you have a problem.
Oh my God.
I really don't think. Do we drink every day in December? Yes, we do. Do we get drunk?
Not all the time.
I don't know. I disagree. I feel like in Zim especially, it's like if we had the option, we really would drink every day. Like, let's think about back to lockdown. People were drinking because we were like, we're at home.
We're
so
bored.
what should we do? Let's drink, right?
Yeah. I think, alcoholism, I think it's so tricky because you can drink every day.
And still not be an alcoholic.
Right. You
Yes, and still not be an
I agree
alcoholic.
with that.
I think I like what you were saying. Like, I like what you said when you said it's about like not being able to handle your drinks. Because I think it's when you drink to a point where you can't stop yourself. So it's one of those things, and you are reliant on it. I think that's what alcoholism is that like, if I wake up Monday morning, I have to have something in my system.
Yeah.
I have to have a shot, even if it's a shot or like a beer, and then cool. Or if I start drinking now, then like, this is me, and like I'm drinking and drinking until I can't drink anymore.
Right.
Like, but you can't stop, where there's no like point where you're like, I need
That's
to stop,
enough,
like I'm
yeah.
full. Like with food, like when you eat and then you're like, okay, I'm full, thanks. then you can live your best life until like the next time you need to have a meal. But like when he can't stop, I think that's when it really becomes like alcoholism.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I hear you.
I think I'm with you on that one. Like, if you don't need to have alcohol every day, then I don't think you're addicted. I think you like it a whole lot, which might be unhealthy, obviously, for the pocket, obviously. But I don't think that's addiction.
I hear you, yeah.
Right. Do you think that in Zim we sort of like sanitize alcoholism and make it seem like, no, we're just partying, we're just having fun, it is what it is? I'm sure we all know someone who is actually an alcoholic. Who,
Vera. Sorry, huh?
What?
those are some claims.
This is a mocktail, guys. Just so you know, mine is the only
claims.
mocktail on this
Those are
table.
some claims. But yeah, so I'm sure we all know someone who like can't function without alcohol.
Yeah.
It's actually like, you know, there's that look. I'm sad that there is a look, but there's a look where they're like super thin
Exactly.
and they like would rather have a drink than eat food.
Yeah.
That's alcoholism.
Right.
You know what I'm thinking about right now? Morph.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're watching this, babe, sorry. You've been called
No.
out.
Unfortunately, Morphe is my brother's close friend, and he passed away 2 months ago
Oh, wow.
from alcohol-related illness.
Right.
So he could not function without alcohol.
Yeah.
So Makusena Chimuka, because we stay by flats, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So Makusena Chimuka and Anga Garapanze, he's drinking whatever he's drinking.
Right.
As he's walking, he's got a little kajukubu that he walks with, and it's got alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I remember the one time during lockdown, he came to my house like literally begging for alcohol, you know, and he was pushing, and I was saying, no, Dada, Moxen, you know, look, Moxen, you know, type thing. And he was like, no, Bobo, no, this is Moxen. I said, you know, and
Right.
it broke me, you know, and I called my brother and I'm like, hey, Doc, this is what your friend is doing here. And then he's like, but we've been seeing this over the years.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I have a cousin who's like that. Like, I don't think in the past 3 years I've ever seen him sober. Like, ever seen him sober. And the thing is, like what you're saying about, like, people sanitizing it. I don't know what it is. Like, as Africans, we don't want to accept like certain like illnesses that aren't obvious, like conditions or illnesses.
Right.
So we're okay with accepting that, oh, munane cancer, someone is HIV positive, or you know, someone has a broken leg. But like when it comes to like mental health issues, when it comes to like alcoholism, drug addiction, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to recognize it.
Yeah.
We'll probably even like
Akaroiwa.
yeah.
Try to justify it.
Yeah, or even like support the habit. Do you get it? Like I know like families where they'll buy the child booze. Like I had a schoolmate, her brother was an alcoholic, and she's like, yeah, my dad will buy him like a crate of beers, and and the dad would say, I'd prefer it if you drink here while we see you like getting wasted here than if you go out and you get wasted.
Right.
But the dad knew he had a problem. The dad would clean him, like he would spoil himself. The dad would clean him and just be like, nah, it's fine. Let me look after my child. But I'm like, you're not solving the problem.
Right.
Is it not better to rehabilitate?
You see now, yeah.
But this brings me to my next point. I think growing up, well, let me not say growing up, I'm not that old. Just being like a person in Zim, like in going to school, I feel like we all had that all break experience of like getting drunk, 16-year-olds, drinking, getting like smashed out of our minds, like wasted, and it was normal. It's like expected. Like when you get to O break, we're getting drunk. That's what we're doing.
That's the game plan, right? Like we're getting wasted.
Personally, I started drinking when I was 11 because my brother and his friends didn't want me to tell on them, so they were just like, drink as well, so that we don't get into trouble. So
I think anyone who's had a brother like had that experience. An older sibling that would bribe you, and they'd be like, okay.
I don't know what families you come from, please.
Oh my goodness. Nah,
Look
but
at
to be
St.
honest,
Peter here,
We
guys.
did
St.
not
Paul.
do those things. I did not start drinking alcohol up until I was... Oh, wow.
We know your cousins and we know your family. And we know
Wow.
your
You
mother.
can, though.
When
You
did
can.
you
We can
start?
fact
No,
check
I wanna
these
hear them.
things.
So, So I'll be very
Your
frank.
wife is also
I had a beer.
So-
Had a beer in Form 2.
Yeah.
Okay, you started drinking.
And wait. And I hated it.
It was a beer.
we all
Up until
hated it.
now, I hate beer. No, like the taste of it.
Okay.
And that was my only experience in that period, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Ma, and sweet at the door."
Oh, because of the beer. The beer
yeah.
was enough to like put
And then
you
all
off.
break, there was no opportunity to go drinking. Like I wasn't. The way I grew up was not, fashioned in that way.
Okay.
I think only after A level, that's when I started drinking.
Okay.
And then when I found what I really liked,
what is that?
Which is
now we're there.
now.
Now it's whiskey,
Okay, then.
vodka.
I feel like everyone went through a vodka phase.
We
the
had
green,
to.
the
It's what we
green
could afford
Russian
as well.
bear.
Yes, like,
It really is.
Yes.
I think there's that age where like vodka was everything. Where
No, also
Vodka,
that's what
dog.
you can afford.
yeah,
Right.
because vodka was
So
It
cheap.
was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
$5.
yeah.
Vodka.
$2.
Dog. We used to drink vodka with every. I think we're going off course, but every. Contra mint, that little green bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just add the mint and just.
Right.
What are
There
you
was
doing?
something
We're
called cherry
fermenting
cough.
or doing something.
Yes, sherry coffee was a
So
cheap.
cheap.
When you were broke, you got the
It
sherry
was like
coffee.
methylated spirits.
It's like $2.50.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'd be a thing, like when you're like a group of friends, you're like, okay, we need to buy drinks, guys, and then
Right.
like put money together to buy
Yeah.
a
50
bottle.
cents.
But you see what I mean? This would happen in like the space of like 5 hours. By the time like 6 o'clock hits, you're all drinking water, sobering up, so you can go back to your parents'
You
houses.
see now. You
And
see
we
now.
knew how to get it done.
Right? Like, what
You
do
know
you mean
I mean?
sobering up? Like, what is
No,
sobering
I
up?
had to sober up.
I also had to sober up.
Like, there was
On
no
like
such thing.
certain occasions, I had to sober up. Like
If my mom sees this, my mom's sorry.
It was what it was.
Right, but now you're a grown-ass man.
I really
so.
apologize if you're watching this. But my mom was in denial for the longest time.
most
like-
parents are.
It got to a point where she sat me down. She's like, "Mwanangu, kana uchida kwenda out. Kumbira kuti mama ndokumboti ndinda out.
Yeah.
So that I know kuti urikuenda nani and urikuenda kupi."
Right.
Right. What was not in the conversation was the state I was in when I got back. And I'm sure I was always drunk. But in her mind, she kept telling herself, kuti,
Nah.
There's no way.
"Mwanangu hana kudako. I'm
Yeah,
not
there's
sober."
no way.
Yeah.
So when she saw me drinking, I think now I was like 20 something.
Yeah.
She's like, "No more Doro." I'm like,
Yeah.
What do you think I got?
from 19 to now, you've been seeing me coming home in the States. What do you think was happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think just to bring ourselves back. Do you think that this drinking thing is like a type of, oh yeah, we can drink, like we're cool, it's a swag thing, like I can buy bottles, I have money to like drink. Even when we drink together, like there's a lot of people who judge people who get like really wasted and are like throwing up and whatever, and it's like, why did you drink so much? But that's what alcohol does to you. So I'm like, what did you expect? You know, not all of us can hold our not all of us can hold our liquor. But there was a time when I couldn't.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
a mess. And people used to judge me. But you know, it's part of life. It's alcohol. What do you expect from someone, you know?
But I think that's when you do it in excess. Like that's when I think I get what you're saying. That like obviously when you're learning how to drink, I think there's
Right.
like a 5-year period when you're still learning how to drink.
Right.
And like it can be the 5 years when you're also like just like any gun shoots, and then like you realize, okay, certain guns aren't my guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm more of a vodka gun, or I'm a gin gun.
Right.
But like I think like that phase can happen. I think depending on how long you've been drinking, I think there's a time when like you can't be that guy.
Yeah.
You can't be the person like that's always wasted, where we have to carry we have to carry Jordan, guys. Jordan passed out in the toilet every time. Like I have this thing, and it's like because now you've gotten to a point where you're doing it like an excess.
And you've become comfortable with it.
yes, like it's not okay, guys.
Right.
It's like anything in excess is a problem.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Except money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Money in excess is perfect.
Unless
Perfection.
you're like Jeff Bezos and you're just
Yeah.
hoarding wealth.
yeah.
Right.
But I think like when it gets to the point where like every time you're like the person who's passed out, like I think there was even a phase when I was like realizing that with myself. I was like, okay, girl,
You're doing a lot.
Like, you're doing the most.
Right,
Like, calm
right.
down. Like, let's not be that person. Let's be the girl that walks out of the club, right?
Right.
Not the girl where people are like, okay, we need to support her. She can't walk, and I'm wearing flats and I still can't walk. I'm like, no, like, it can't happen like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, just remembering your old days. I know, baby. It's fine.
Flashbacks.
It's fine.
But also, alcohol is really expensive, guys. Let's think about it. If you're drinking every weekend,
But
that's an
I
expense.
think that's very subjective, to be fair.
I guess if you're buying bottles, it's cheap.
What kind?
But if you're
of bottles?
drinking at the club,
If you're buying like, what's
yeah.
it
At the
called?
bar,
Like
that's a
blue
whole lot of
label.
money.
Because I think
Like-
the conversation we're having right now is solely based on where we party as maybe
Right.
the four of us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but
that's-
if
it
you,
varies.
I really want to use the correct terminology so people can keep watching your.
You can use anything. This is a free for all space. And
So,
you can say
all right,
Careful.
on the other side of Samora,
Yes, okay.
they're not buying Jameson. They're not buying.
Right.
They're not even buying like even Russian beer
Right.
type thing. I've seen
you
these
can drink
little.
scotch, guys.
Breakers.
Right.
There's these little things that they're making. These little bottles of alcohol, and then they slap a name on it, and you don't even know what exactly
Oh,
you're drinking.
yeah. And it's like a buck or like 50 cents.
That's the thing. So, because it's so accessible back, like on that side of Samora Auntie, people are drinking it because that's what they have, and that's
Right.
their experience.
Right.
So, whereas we'll be like, no, Gatibat is in the 84, Chutenga Jameson here, Auntie. And then total maybe 1 or 2 bottles, and they're like, no, Tadakwa, oh my gosh. They're drinking these things in
Straight.
excess.
Yeah.
Right? Or what some scad. You see, I've seen scad that you mix with chocolate milk, kunok, or mix in a quarter.
Yeah.
You know, so the question then becomes: are we doing this for fun, or is it a
Just to
coping
get
mechanism
drunk, right.
for something?
Yeah.
I feel that.
Coping mechanism, but I think that's true. I think a lot, especially like, I think on both sides actually of Samoa, being a Zimbabwean, a lot of the drinking is based on coping.
It is.
So yeah, I can be living in the Dales. Daddy can be a minister. I can be driving a very fancy car and whatever. But I think at the end of the day, there's other shit that I'm dealing with.
Right.
And drinking helps me to forget whatever I'm dealing with,
Right.
and I'm fine. The other guys on the other side of Samoa, there's no bread in the house, there's no food. I have 5 other siblings I have to look out for.
Right.
My mom's sick. The Bali has a side chick,
Right.
and like, so what am I gonna do with my boys? I'm gonna chill by the bridge, and we're gonna get wasted because I don't
Right.
have to think about life for like a good 3 hours.
Right. I also think there's that thing of a lot of people, especially because of the way social media is set up, we all have access to other people's lives.
Yeah.
And so I think we're constantly comparing, as Zimbabweans that live in Zim, especially, there's that thing of comparing ourselves to the people who are our ages living in the diaspora. You know what I mean? There's people, you're seeing people our ages making big moves, buying houses, buying cars, making big business moves, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we're here with our economy and we're like,
Just in jail.
I'm trying so hard, I'm working all these hours, but I'm like not making it as good.
Yeah.
And so what do? Drink.
Yeah.
Let's just forget about it. Let's just put it into the bottle. Right. I don't know. So I completely agree with you guys. I think that we have a very sad situation in this country, and I think the way that things are set up, alcohol is so accessible, and now other drugs are becoming very accessible as well. And so we're just lucky. I think we're actually very lucky that it's just alcohol and it's not like heroin and meth and
Yeah.
but cocaine is on the rise. So
Where?
shame. It's hectic. No, I know a lot of people that sniff coke.
Yeah. That's true.
Right. I do.
You think because our country is where it is in terms of the economy, we can't afford to have such drugs.
Yeah.
The rich kids. It's these Bardale, what, Mount Pleasant babies who are. Oh, my
But you say
parents.
that.
Doing
But
like
I don't have a job.
the only
I don't
woman
see
who
my
was
parents.
arrested for coke in Zim, I got out of Highfield.
Hectic.
Oh yes. I
With
remember
the one she was trying to
story.
send it to somewhere with,
Mauritius or something.
yeah, with DHL.
Hectic. That's insane.
Watch Narcos. If she's watching this, please watch Narcos. Not watch any drug smuggling movie.
Right.
We don't do that through DHL. Like, let's not do that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been speaking about alcohol and alcoholism, alcohol addiction, alcohol enjoyment, you know, all of that in this episode. And yeah, we've just been having a real serious discussion. And as you can see, the drinks are just getting bigger. Because I didn't even take a sip there, I just picked it up for the aesthetics. But yeah, so in the interim, there was something that was brought up, and it was the fact that alcohol, you said alcohol lubricates the experience. And I agree, I think that's the truth. I think that's why when we go out, we go and drink. So my question, actually, this is the perfect question. My question is, do you think that going out would actually just be trash if there wasn't any alcohol?
I'd never go.
Like, we just stay at our house because, like, there's nothing.
She would.
Because have you ever gone
This
out
is how you know you have a
and
problem.
everyone else is drunk and you're, like, the sober person and you're like...
I think the best question to ask is, where have you gone to hang out and there wasn't alcohol being sold there?
Like,
not that you are not drinking.
Okay, so I am an avid supporter of people that have chosen to not drink, you know, for their health, for their families and things like that. I think it's a great life choice that you've made. However,
Sips drink.
furthermore, and moreover, my sister and I attended an event, and it was for people, you know, the Alcoholics Anonymous, like whatever, and we were doing catering for the event and whatever, and there was no alcohol, but there were people, there was food, and the event was very sad.
To say the least.
But like they came with like games and stuff like that. But like, you know, like I don't know if you know those, you know those film noirs, like you know those like, you know, Cannes movie festival type movies where it's sad and depressing, and like they have that like filter and like, you know, people like
The dusty filter.
yeah. That's how, like, it was so bad, guys. Like even the guys, they like didn't look like they were having fun, and I was like, it just needed one guy with like a bottle of tequila to be like, shots!
No, I feel like it would have been worse.
No. They were all thinking of the days
They were.
when they
definitely
used
were.
to drink.
They
Yeah.
definitely were.
So the thing
Yeah.
is, I've gone out to places where there's booze and just not wanted to drink,
Right.
and like had the time of my life because I like also watching drunk people
Yes.
and making people drink more.
Ambiance
Yes, the vibe is
of the alcohol.
Even that one puking in the corner adds to the ambiance.
Right?
See, alcohol just makes everything better. Sorry, it sounds so alcoholic.
You see?
That's what I said. I said at the beginning of the episode, I said the first step is to admit that.
I think a lot of people would disagree with you. I think there's a lot of people who smoke weed who would be like, no, alcohol ruins everything. Alcohol. You know, there's a lot of stoners who are anti-alcohol because they're like, nah, it's just bad vibes, whatever. Like
You
they're
said
snobbish,
to me.
balancing plates on their
You
noses.
said to me, because I don't put some, I get sick when I put something sweet in my drink. I am weak. I am not saying
you're
anything about your stoner people.
I'm not a stoner. I used to be.
I'm not saying anything about the stoner people.
God.
But alcohol makes every event or every situation better.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mental notes, tense
guess.
situation.
Especially
I
tense
guess.
But I think-
situations.
I don't know. I think
Someone
I disagree.
shouts, shots.
I think on the flip side, let's think about how alcohol. I'm sad to say it, but I think I have to play the devil's advocate right now and think about how alcohol plays into a lot of people who face domestic violence, for example.
Yeah.
They, like, alcohol is a big part of that. You know, there are a lot of women who their husbands go out to the bar and they drink until whatever hours of the night, and when they come home, they are so like smashed out of their minds. The first thing they want to do is like beat their wife when they come home. Or a lot of people, we just did an episode on sexual assault and rape. And that is another one of the biggest causes behind like sexual assault and rape is being drunk. And people saying, oh no, I don't remember, you know? You know how many times I've been with guys and then the next morning they wake up and they're like, I don't know what happened, I don't remember. And I'm like,
yeah,
well,
whatever.
Everything.
Exactly.
And also like bad decisions like that people make when they're drunk.
Exactly.
And then like, as Jamie Foxx said, blame it on the alcohol. But like, should we though?
Right.
I feel
This
like
is exactly what I'm getting with that. That's exactly what I was getting into.
oh wait, guys, I feel like people like to give alcohol a bad name.
Exactly. Like we should be the
People
defenders.
just behave the way they would
Advocates.
and just hide behind alcohol. Most people would still be abusive regardless
you.
of the alcohol.
I agree with you.
And then I think it's an excuse they then use like to make their wives stay, you know. I'm so sorry I was drunk.
Right.
But most people just behave the way they would.
Yeah.
It's just
You see-
a bit more amplified, I guess.
If you're a jerk, you're always a jerk. Like,
Yeah,
you get it.
yeah.
Like, it got me thinking that, oh no,
If you're happy, you're gonna be
you're gonna be
happier.
more okay with showing. Like, I always say,
Showing your
a drunk man tells no lies.
Right.
So, like, when you ask someone something when they're drunk, like, they'll tell you the truth.
Right.
When someone shows a certain characteristic when they're wasted and then, oh yeah, well, I was drunk. Alcohol
excuse.
doesn't create a new persona in you.
Right.
Exactly.
You don't unleash a Sasha Fierce. There's no evil spirit that then manifests when like
Exactly.
the shot of tequila comes. Nah, that's who you are inside. And now, because you're now strong, you're braver to show this authentic version of you, then now you want to like blame it on the alcohol. I completely
Yeah,
agree.
no.
Right.
Say,
Need to be
wait.
accountable.
Go ahead.
Me as Voltron, defender of the alcohol.
Alcohol advocate.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
Hey.
Men, please do better. You need to do better with trying to beat everything that's in front of you, including wives, children, and
Your meat.
the rape culture. We need to do better as men. We can't blame
Yeah.
alcohol or drugs. Having said that, alcohol for me, what we're doing here is better because there's some drinks. You know, we're able to loosen up and talk freely and smile and, you know, pause.
I would try and like defend this, but like the thing is, every episode we have done, except for maybe the first two this year, have been with alcohol. So
Right.
you might be onto something.
No, I agree. Alcohol is fun. It's great. It's great. But I think let's think about how we're not responsible as we should be if we're going to be advocates for alcohol.
Yeah.
We should be more responsible. I think I'm speaking in the context of drinking and driving. I think a lot of people know that like when we go out, we're going to drive home no matter what. There's no such thing as like designated driver.
Yeah.
The designated
It's the most
driver
sober
is also
person.
drunk.
No.
You know?
So who's the most sober to drive out of the six of us?
Right, and I bring this up because obviously we've seen like what has happened recently. I'm not asking you to comment on it, but I'm just saying this is like the perfect. It sets the scene for what we're talking about. And then, you know, there was this accident that happened at Jinimbi, and the three other people. There were three other people in the car, and this was as a result of drinking and driving. And we all know it. We saw the snaps, we saw the videos. They were witnesses, you know. So nobody can sit here and say, no, someone was... Yeah, we know what it is. And it's not like this is the first time. I think the number one cause of death amongst the youth in Zim, this is me making my own facts, so don't quote me. But like a real cause of death is accidents. How many people do we know that have died from an accident?
Yeah.
The accidents.
So I think first things first to Jinimbi.
Yeah.
Right.
And Moana.
so big.
And Moana.
Clink, clink, clink.
Clink, clink, clink.
Lalisha and Kareem.
R.I.P.
In Zimbabwe, the person who drives is the owner of the car,
Right.
regardless of state. So even if you are sober and you can drive and you've got a license, the owner of the car usually refuses for you to
Right,
drive.
right.
And that's a bad culture that we have. It's also a terrible culture that, and I've done it before, where you drink and then you drive, right?
Right.
And
I think we all have.
I can't say it's. I don't know how to defend myself in this situation.
Yeah, I get
We
it.
also don't have
yeah.
like really good like transport services, unfortunately.
We
Like
don't,
Uber,
yeah.
we don't have
Yeah.
like Taxify, we don't have. So what are our options? Am I gonna miss out on
I
having a
think
good
sometimes it's
night?
just about like just being smart about it. I have a friend, like we love drinking and living our best lives and everything, but like she's so anal about like being drunk and then driving. Like
Right.
she will, if we're, let's say we go to Pablo's or we go in a Tin Roof or whatever, an hour before we're about to leave, she's gonna start sobering up, drinking water,
Right.
until she knows that like I'm good.
Right.
But you'll have some people that aren't like that. Do you get it? Like I get that like yeah, you can have like right now maybe this one drink. You're not gonna be like drunk out of your fucking mind and like driving like this in the
Yeah.
road. Like no, you're still gonna be okay to drive.
Right, right.
And I think that's what we need to start practicing, that culture of saying, okay, cool, I want to go out. I don't want to pay a cab to like move me around. So yeah, I'm gonna drink, but I'm gonna cut
stop
myself
there.
off.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, I want to leave the club or whatever. So from 9, I'm gonna start sobering up. Or I know that I'm gonna have a 3-drink limit. I used to say this to myself a lot, like, but I wasn't driving, but it was just for me personally because I was
Right.
like, after drink number 5, I thought I'm a mess. So 3-drink limit, and then we stop, girl. Like then we're like well behaved. But like yeah, like I think that kind of a culture that like let's start building up cultures like that. I think also maybe just asking you guys, because you're a couple, you guys go out together, you guys drink together. No, but like this is a thing though. This is actually a thing. I know lots of couples where they'll go out together, maybe, and one of the two will get super wasted. No offense to men out there, but it's mostly the guy who gets drunk out of his mind,
Public.
wifey.
No, I've seen a lot
In
of
this
wives
situation,
getting
it's me,
drunk.
But I'm saying that
When the wife
like
is
you have a
like
situation, yeah,
yelling.
but it's
I have
fine.
a great story for this as well.
Oh
when you're
my
done,
God,
I've got a great story for this.
I
No,
would
but what
love
I'm
to
just
hear
trying to say is
it.
that like the
I would love to
husband,
hear
like
it.
maybe it'll be a family function. Husband gets drunk out of his mind. Wife is like, no, let's go home. Let me drive. Husband is like, Jack,
It's my car.
it's my God, let me drive. He's the one who has to drive. She's there praying. Hail Mary is just like, God, let's just get home safe.
Right.
Do you get it? So like having like a system as a couple to be like, Sha, babe, tonight, like I've been around with like friend couples and whatever, and they're like, babe, tonight is my night to get wasted. You're designated driver, or babe, tomorrow, today's my day. You know, like I
He's
don't know.
about to like.
Tell us the story. Tell us the story.
Firstly, like, can you introduce us to these friends? You need to re-educate them.
Oh my goodness.
Well, for us,
He had to take a sigh, like a whole.
let me tell you the story first. So the one time we went out with friends, right?
There was a sign and a sip.
We went to. Am I allowed to say the name of the place we went to?
Yeah.
Yes.
We went to Pablo's and we're drinking with his friends. We're drinking.
Pablo's that kicks people out.
This was before we were married, actually. And then as we're leaving, took our motor, everything is chill, we're walking, you know, we're talking, we're having a good laugh too.
Yeah.
You know, walking. I get into the car, she gets in, I open the door, she gets in, I get in. So I usually like to select my music before we start moving, right? So I'm selecting, and then she looks at me, she holds my shoulder, she's like, baby, Nrugudzok. So I'm like, where is she going? Does she not come by right into the back and fall asleep?
Oh, that is so cute.
So I'm like, okay, chill, right? We were sleeping at my sister's that day. So we drive to my sister's, right?
That's so me.
Window open, I'm
Right.
singing because I'm not drunk, but you know, I'm a little happy, so I need to be. We do this, guys. We do that. I don't know if you haven't done it, but
That's
the air
so
helps.
Right.
You know. So, anyways, we get to the house, and then I open the door. I'm like, baby, let's go. She wants the air.
Carry me. Take
So I
me.
put it on my back,
Yes.
right?
Right
And I call
for
my sister. I'm like, Sha, can you open the door?
Right.
She opens. She's like, wow, you're not even married yet. Look at this,
This
right?
is you.
And for me personally, that is how our relationship has been in terms of going out. Where she will drink probably the most. I won't drink as much.
You're
Right.
allowed, babes. You're allowed.
And
He's
and
assumed this role, so you're allowed to continue.
in the years that were leading to marriage, we used to go out to Centurion and she would dance for 3 hours like a garapasi.
Shame, I miss Centurion.
Like 3 hours, she's dancing non-stop.
Old vibrate.
You know, by herself, just in front of me, or with a friend or whatever, and then we go home. And what we managed to do as a couple, we didn't even sit down to talk about it, but I drive all the time. And what I've managed to do is I don't drink as much.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's
So that
important.
I'm okay to drive.
Or you pace yourself.
Yeah. Like there's a certain point where my body is like, no, blast, I think Makwen Rambir. Mangorari my short cut one.
Right. I think this is I'm not cutting you off. I'm just like adding on to what
Yeah.
you're saying. I think we all know the point where it's like you must
Of no
stop now,
return.
or like
Yes,
it's done.
yes,
We all know
yes.
it. I don't think anyone can sit here and say no. I don't know. Don't lie.
You
Because
all know.
you feel it in your heart of hearts, and in your stomach. Your body.
Your stomach literally tells you like,
Don't do
friend,
it.
don't do it.
The moments
Stop.
where I've been
Come
really,
here,
really
it's at
drunk,
your own risk.
my friends have driven.
Yeah.
When I haven't driven, or my relatives, or my sister has driven. Where they're like, no, it's your birthday.
Right.
You should enjoy.
Yeah. So you
Let's
get
do
lit.
shots.
Yeah.
You know, I'm older now, 2-shot limit. But before, you know, reckless.
14, 25
reckless.
shots. Yeah.
Your age, nigga. Your age. Dear true time.
Like you take shots of your.
Your age. I don't know why we're doing this because it's not smart.
Honestly, no.
It's not really smart.
But it just feels like a good idea in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like
Never
it's such
again.
a great idea.
So back to your question. As a couple, we've managed to. Those dynamics have been put into place.
Right.
Where even like today, I am pretty okay, and she's suffering a little bit right now.
Thanks, Mishi.
She's suffering a little bit right now. We understand each other. I think that's the
Yeah.
most important thing. Where you need to understand each other as a couple. If you
Right.
don't, that you can have problems.
I think just pulling it out of the couple's context and looking at it from like a friend group sort of situation, because a lot of people more often than like going out with in a couple situation, it's in a friend group situation. I think what I'm drawing from what you're saying is that you need to be chilling with people who respect you. Like at the end of the
Yes.
day, you can't be chilling with people who don't give a damn about, okay, I am the one that's driving this group of 7 because I've seen 7 of you jumping out of your cars at Jam Street. But I mean, that's a
That's
story
joke,
for
I wonder
another
if it's-
time. But yeah, 7 of you or 8 or 12 or however many of you for
The shade.
respect each other. Like if you don't respect your, why are you hanging out with people who don't respect you in the first place? Like drinking, putting yourself in a vulnerable situation with people you don't trust.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's also
Exactly.
like we need to start putting more responsibility on ourselves
Yeah.
and saying, I put myself in this situation. I
Yeah.
decided to go and drink with people who I don't trust. I don't know, you know. And then another thing I wanted to say is that as much as we can say, yeah, it's always the drunk drivers that get into accidents, that's not always the case.
Yeah.
It
Also
could also
bad
be people
sober
who are
drivers.
sober,
Yeah.
who are encountering drunk drivers who get into the accidents.
On their phone.
And
Right.
we
Takes it
generally
on.
also have lots of bad sober drivers.
Right.
Ish.
People who are just trying to speed, trying to show off. What are you doing?
Literally
Especially in December.
yesterday I
In the
almost got
rain.
involved in an accident. Like this is 10 a.m. I was going with my friend to KFC, to the drive-thru by Belgravia. So this
Right.
guy literally cut us off. So we were just like, yo, like, where is this
Yeah.
guy rushing to? We get to the drive-thru. This guy's car is right in front of us. So she's like, sorry, you wanted to kill us because you wanted to go and get KFC.
Imagine.
No,
At 10 a.m. on a Saturday
People
morning.
drive mad. People
Like,
drive
come
mad.
on.
This
Like,
one was.
behave.
There was an ambulance coming from the other end, right? We were trying to get into the main road, and she goes over the hump. Teshina starts speeding.
Imagine.
Ambulance, it reads a siren. It wants to pass. She starts to speed. So
there's
me,
oncoming
I
traffic.
honk, right? And the people who are behind us start honking as well. Don't do that. You know, this guy is on the other side of the road. There's oncoming traffic, but you are trying to speed and
Erase the ambulance. Honestly. Right. I don't know. I think this is we're obviously coming to the end of our conversation. I don't think there's much more we can talk about, but I think the best thing for me to do right now is just to open the app, open the platform, and give us all an opportunity, especially you guys, since you're our guests, to say whatever you feel like you want to say, anything that you feel like is a standout message. Doesn't even have to be a message. You can crack jokes for 2 minutes. You know,
We don't
you can
mind.
do whatever you want to do, but like this is your platform, and you have something. If you have something to say, this is your chance to say
baby?
it.
Do you have anything to say?
I think I would just say don't use alcohol to hide away from being held accountable for the things you do wrongly, you know. And yeah.
Right.
As Voltron, I will say
Alcohol advocate.
Enthusiasts. Enjoy your alcohol, but we need to find a better way to deal with drinking and driving on getting home. We all need to find a way to solve that problem, because you might be safe, Nas, you might be safe, Mangwana, but there's one day where something will catch you and you won't be able to jump off from that.
Right.
And then we should not use alcohol as a crutch to move forward, or as a crutch in conversations, or as a crutch in anything, really.
Right.
We should just enjoy it already as it is, and not, try to justify what you do afterwards.
Right.
No, but sorry, Shan, no. We should just be different. Be better men. Men be better. We should be better.
And also, like, girls, like, be better in the life decisions you make. Like, I know that sometimes you're like, oh, but I was drunk and I didn't know what I was doing. But, like, you did. Like, you did. Like, it can't be,
It's
like...
both ways.
It's both ways.
Yeah.
So it can't be a thing that, okay, I was drunk, oh, and then he touched me, oh, I don't know. No, sweetie, you were aware. You were drunk. You were feeling the vibes.
Right.
And then you woke up in the morning and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And now you want to, like, make it into a whole thing. So I think just, like... as humans and as adults who know how to handle their liquor and whatever, let's just like own your shit, like take responsibility for what you're doing. If you can't handle your booze, like there's no shame in it. I think like coming back to like what you had said earlier about the whole thing, like sometimes you want to drink because like, for the fans, for swag, shampoo, showers.
And because all your friends are drinking. Peer pressure still
Peer
exists.
pressure,
Even though we're big
even when
guys,
you're
we're
60,
grown.
fam,
Right.
like it's there. So
There's
like
no pressure to be drunk.
if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, be the sober friend who's like super fun.
Right.
Let people ask you 20,000 times, why aren't you drinking? Why aren't you drinking?
Right,
But like,
yeah.
still
Right,
just
right,
have
right,
your
right.
bomb ass fun and like live your best life.
Right. I don't know. I think from just what you're saying, I think there's something that I really thought about it, and it's this thing of launching, guys. We launch people. We launch other people, especially when we're drinking together. We have that. Like, I think it's a real problem, but I think there's fun in it. But I think we should also like create a culture of being like, I'm launching you, but are you okay? Are you good? Like,
Knowing when to cut off your
fine?
friends though. Also.
I'm not launching and asking, are you okay with this?
No, but the thing is, what I'm saying is like, for example, sorry to like
no, it's fine.
push us back into the
all right.
conversation. But like the other day, I had a friend of mine. She loves to drink. She got wasted. She wanted to drive home. Her car was bust. I literally had to cut her off. Bodega was doing the drinks for us, and they supported the cutting off of the drinking. But like, like it was a thing where I was just like, no, like, yeah, we're having fun. We've been talking about this all day about like us having fun and drinking. But I was like, you need to stop drinking.
Serious.
When she still wanted to drive, I was like, Jack, like, let's make another plan.
Yeah,
because
so
we
need to
can't,
be-
like,
we
it
need to be
can't,
bold.
we need to be bold enough to have those, like, what she's saying about real friends. Like, if I see both of you wasted beyond redemption, I'll be like, Saka, cab. Like, I'll pay for it, it's fine. It's like, let's get home safe, you know?
Right.
And we shouldn't argue with our friends.
Nah, but like, when you're
Because
drunk,
we
you want to
do,
argue.
like, you. I've been driving for over 20 years.
True, that is true.
I don't know. I think you guys have said it. You said it all perfectly. I really appreciate everything you guys have said. I think maybe just one tiny thing that I can add is that we all have to be responsible for ourselves at the end of the day, and nobody is responsible for you. And I think as much as we can try to say that, oh yeah, alcohol, like it's just, I feel like I'm tying in everything that Chola saying, and at the end of the day, it's you, it's you, and it's you, and it's you at the end of the day that who has you the most. And so if you can't rely on yourself, then don't expect anyone to be able to rely on you, and don't rely on other people,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is the perfect place to end this conversation. Keep drinking, guys. Keep enjoying. Be responsible. Thank you so much to our guests.
Yes,
for coming on.
thank you,
Y'all
thank you.
brought so many gems.
Thank you for having us. Thank
so
you for
much
having
good
us.
vibes. so many good vibes, so much good vibes. Whatever.
You can
The
follow
vibes are
them.
there.
The vibes are in abundance.
The vibes are there.
So yeah,
Vibe is correct.
and like we said at the beginning, this episode was sponsored by Bodega, and Bodega is a mobile alcohol beverage service provider. Do you want me to add more words to it? So yeah,
Their
if you are
contacts are
interested in
somewhere
that
here.
is on the screen.
On the screen.
Our social handles are going to be on the
Yes.
screen. Theirs, if they choose to do that, it's going to
We
be
want
on
to be
the screen.
famous, please.
Yes.
No, you are famous though. They're Twitter famous.
Right, so I think I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about this conversation. So feel free to hit the comment section, like, subscribe, share with your friends, especially now because we're still in December and I think that there's a lot of people who could benefit from this. December ends in February, so yeah, share this. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming on and watching this episode. We love you
Yes.
so much, and again, thank you for season 2 of Her Hour. And I hope that we see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Cheers. Keep drinking.
Clink, clink, bitch.
Lights flash, click.
Tick, striker, pose.
Oh, swag, drippy, drippy, click, striker, pose.
You
No,
know,
we need to do eye contact first.
Yes, but we have to first do we need to catch the eye contact. All of that conversation needs to be caught on
Otherwise, you
camera.
have 7 years of bad sex.
Yes.
I feel like that's such a fucked up punishment, guys. Can't tell me 7 years of bad sex. That's fucked up.
It is.
Okay, let's go.
Came up with that shit.
Clink.
Alrighty.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To y'all at home.